Fat Joe speaks on the untimely passing of Migos member Takeoff.
Alright, self-love. Now, I couldn't sleep last night. That's why I'm up early. So you saying good morning, but you don't know I've been up all night. I ain't sleep. Rest in peace to the young brother, Takeoff. One of the most humblest kids I met of this generation. And when we talk, Farris, what's up, my brother? I know you headed to the gym. When we talk about this generation, Chauncey, what's up, my brother? Pepsi in the building. When we talk about this generation, this is equivalent to my generation's Run DMC, the Migos. That's how I always felt. These guys are going to be living legends of this time. And so sad. There's so many ways to go this way, but it's about self-love. And so we got to get away from the self-hate. We got to get away from hating our own, being jealous of our own. Now, I do not know the details of why this gentleman was. I do not know what happened, but I could talk from being the eldest statesman of hip hop that I just feel like I have to speak on it, right? And so I told you on Charlemagne, I said, man, why we down? You know, it was a time where we lost Big, we lost Pop, we lost Big L, but this was spaced out. This was years apart. It seems like we lose our young brothers every month. Every single month. We lose a young brother who's feeding his family, feeding his village, feeding his community, and inspiring. And so I know the young boys ain't really up at this time like this. But we got to talk to them. And so, inspiration. When somebody makes it out the hood that looks like you, that talks like you, that been through what you've been through, it offers a baton of hope. See, I had to see Lord Finesse make it before I knew I could make it. I had to see Diamond D, Showbiz, and AG make it before I could make it. Me, Fat Joe. And I never give up. I'm here to tell you God is great during good and bad times. And so I feel like you got Joey, you got the Fat Gangster, you got the Don Cartagena, you got Fat Joe. I feel like we all praying to a God. Whether it's Allah, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's the Messiah, whether it's... I feel like he just got nicknames. He came through hoods and had different nicknames. You know how you know a guy from Harlem? They might know him by something else in Brooklyn. They might know him by something else in the ATL. But as long as you got God in your heart and you believe that there's a God out there, that this world would never have been created without God. The God of wind, the God of the sun, the God of life, the God of everything. And so self-love. And so this young brother, man, you know, I'll never forget I was at the Versus, Dipset Locks. This guy, Takeoff, was there. And he's a big Dipset fan. And I seen him at the end of the battle. He walked out. He looked so upset, so sad, because he. And I just knew he loved hip hop. And so this hip hop, whether I talk to Will Smith every day, whether I talk to Buckshot Shorty, whether I talk to anybody in hip hop, we do love each other. We do have an alma mater. Unfortunately, we come together at times like this. Okay. Now, there's so much for me to talk about. And let me get back to what I was getting to, because this is a very important topic, guys. And I know a lot of you guys are going to work, going to school. When somebody makes it that looks like you, that comes from where you come from, and you know their struggles and you know their battle, it offers you hope. It lets you know that you can overcome and you can be successful, that you can be a king, a queen, a CEO, an entrepreneur, an owner of a business, a leader. And so when you down, before they even peak to their greatness, you set us back. Now, this young brother is a legend. Without getting early, without none of that, this group, I've always said, in this generation, is the Run DMC of this generation. Fucking incredible, phenomenal. My heart goes out to his family, the whole ATL, Offset, Quavo. And now, from what we know, these guys wasn't talking to each other at the time. That got to be even worse. And so what the great Kobe Bryant said was, the biggest mistake in life is to think you have time. Because no one gets up thinking they're going to die that day. No one gets up thinking it's over. And so it was a sad day yesterday for hip hop. I spoke to Fabulous briefly. And Fab, if you know Fab, he don't talk much. I done sat next to him for an hour and we might say, yo, yeah, talk about an outfit or something. Yesterday he wouldn't get off the phone. Talking about, yo, life is short, we gotta enjoy, we gotta this, we gotta that. And so I'm blessed, right? I never thought I'd be blessed. They try to 30, 40 times. It's in the book of Jose, right? So I'm blessed, right? I'm a lucky guy. But everybody's not lucky. And everybody didn't come as lucky as me. And so I got to see Method Man as a grown man. I got to see Raekwon. I got to see Jay-Z as a grown man. I got to see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Ice Cube as grown men. Nas as grown men. But the youth, I'm really, really worried about the youth because they're not getting to see their kings and queens at an older age. These kids are every single month. Young Dolph, PNB Rock, Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke ain't even get to enjoy one day of his music. Now Takeoff, 28 years old. And so I could not sleep. And we as a community, we have to move on to a new level of thinking. We have to elevate. We can't sit here and say the white man keeping us down. We can't sit here and say this and this. We got to fight through that. and be the great kings and queens that we are. And so all those mentalities, this needs to be a new era of self-love, a new era of community. And so before our time, when we watch civil rights movements and we watch movies, many people together, they march together. We have more power and more financial resources now than ever to uplift our communities and to think towards a better future. Not looking in the past, not blaming nobody, but just looking at ourselves as a community. And love each other, bro, because we really do. And so there's a fact, and this has nothing to do with Takeoff, but it has everything to do with Takeoff. But I'm talking indirectly. There's a fact that from 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning is the most dangerous time in the streets. Why is that? People having a good time, they coming out the club, they drunk, they twisted. We know that when we're high,
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
we're not thinking the same way we think as if we would think sober. This is a fact. I know I got best friends that smoke all day and they say, yo, I'm even better on weed. That's cool. But we know coming out the club, you drinking, you know, you got to chase the girls, so you got to go to the strip club, you got to go to the club. I'm not blaming this on the young ladies because the ladies are our most powerful resource. People think Fat Joe has an army of Diesel guy, TS. I'm really protected by our sisters and the women. And so 2 to 4 in the morning, you coming out the club. One thing I learned is once I come out the club, I leave the club. I don't hang out in the front of it no more. Years ago, I used to hang out, talk shit. You know, if I have to leave an event, I leave. I'm not hanging out in front, right? And somehow we go there, and that's where it turns bad. And in the Bronx, we used to go to this shit called the afties, the after hour, where you triple drunk and high, and all the tough guys are there. Something bound to go wrong. And so we have to learn. This is something I learned as an older person. Ro Parrish, what's up, my brother? Is we got to keep ourselves away from these dangerous places. If you in there, it's like this, you don't feel good, it ain't right. A lot of times you got to go with your gut, whether it's right or wrong. If you don't feel right, if you're with your man, but your man's with some guys that you're not feeling like, you got to get up out of there. Take your gut. Sometimes you're right, sometimes it's wrong. You got to stick to your gut. I am addicted. It's a great compared to all this other shit going on. And it would turn bad. And so I see more people at the club and hanging out, you know, in these dangerous places and environments than anywhere else. It just doesn't really happen like that. If it happens like that in the daytime or it happens like that somewhere nice, damn, it's terrible. Because, you know, we seen some shit. But you got to find yourself out of these dangerous places. Because If you put yourself around that element, something's bound to happen. But I learned this at an older age. Yo, Joe, you was always in the street. You was in the hood. You was this. But you got to stay away. And so what's going to stop these young brothers from getting killed every month? Every month. P&B Rock last month. Every month. And so what you're not realizing is that with every young king that you kill, it's another person of hope from our community. And so you gotta understand that self-love is the new word, is the new slogan, is the new everything. Because I hate us hating on ourselves. We gotta be happy for each other and gotta love that people are becoming successful or whatever the case may be. I constantly, without press, without publicity, I constantly go to schools and go. I was just last week in Chicago talking to a whole group of men, young men. Then I came to New York, New Rochelle. I went to the high school 2 days later. I'm constantly talking to the youth. Constantly. When you see me talk, I use total transparency. I tell you if I got beat up. I tell you if I won. But that's so that our people can know their value and who they are. And so, do we got to do this every month? Do we have to do this every month? And we on our own. You can say all you want. We can do all the cliches we want. They don't bring guns in the hood. Who brings the this? Who's that? Nah, man. Nah. And why any type of argument or whatever has to turn into violence? Why it can't just be talked out? Somebody makes it from your community. Be happy for them. And if they keep it real, they'll open businesses in the community or take you places you never been. You know, I said, we went, see, there's a catch-22. I went to Summer Jam, and there were so many guys trying to bum rush the stage, right? I think it was the Locks, it was Dipset, it was us, it was Busta. It was we was doing the K-Slate tribute. And I was almost embarrassed by how many grown men was trying to bum rush the stage to get up there. And then I started asking questions. Jamie, what's up, sis? I started asking questions. And I heard a flip side to it. And the flip side was, they proud they mans made it. They want to be on stage with their crew. They want to be like, yo, my hood made it and I'm there standing right next to my guy. And so all these moments of love and all these moments of sharing joy together, like Fat Joe, when you see me do a birthday party and everybody ain't Mary J. Blige. Everybody ain't Ashanti and Remy and everybody else. There's guys and girls that grew up with me that don't got it like us. But they get the party because I love them and I love to experience them, to experience my world and to know that they mean that much to me. Chubby Chub, what's up, my brother? You too skinny out here. And so these are the things that you should be proud. People fought through everything. Think of yourself. Just say to yourself, what you had to do to get to where you at, or what you want to do, or what you want to aspire to be. And just look at that brother and say, damn, he really went through all that shit. He probably went through worse. That's why I wrote the book of Jose. Because I want you to know you love this skinny shit, Chubb. You're going too far. You're going too far. You look great. You're healthy. I love you. You're going too far. You got to stop, Chubby. And so in the book, I'm just showing you transparency so you could, forget lean back all the way up. Just what Joe went through in life, every little milk and cranny. I was 14 living in a crackhead hotel and just telling you I was scared. I would listen to Slick Rick, the show. Out of fear. I thought I was tough, but I wasn't. I was still young. And I tell you about all these things. But I got lucky. I kept fighting. I never gave up, and I got lucky. But it seems like luck is not on our side. And so I lost Big L. My best friend, Tom Montana, got murdered young. Listen, I grew up with 40 guys. Maybe 35 of them got before 21, 22. The thing's been around. It's just now we have social media. Didier, what's up, my brother? And so I want to know, since when is cool to videotape somebody on the floor? Since when it's been cool? I watch the news. We got a big problem in New York where they pushing people in front of the train. Every day, mental illness. They push ladies, guys. Instead of helping the guy that got pushed in front of the train, they video it. They video the shit. Instead of grabbing the lady or the guy who's about to get hit by a train, I don't understand it. I really, really don't understand it. And I don't want to see that. And I have one of my best friends on earth send me the video of Takeoff. I said, yo, why the f*** you sent me this, man? I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see Nipsey Hussle. I don't want to see that. What the f*** is wrong? Not sitting up here acting like I grew up with Takeoff. I know him like that. I know the man to be a humble man. Every time I ever met him, he was one of the nicest guys. Nipsey Hussle was too. I spoke to my brother Khaled yesterday, and everybody I talked to was like, I love you, brother. I love you. This shit crazy. This shit crazy. But you got to call your brother, yo, I love you, I love you. This is all we was doing yesterday. And Khaled's like, if you would see this guy, he texts me out of nowhere, God bless you, I hope you're having a blessed day. This is the type of guy that died. It ain't always the bad guy. It ain't always, it could be the beautiful guy who dies. This is why I was so upset with the P&B Rock. I didn't know him like that. I met him a couple of times. He was very humble. But it bothered me. I love you, Chubb. It bothered me because here's a young brother. We got so many stereotypes. The hood, right? We never gonna make it. We never gonna survive. We never gonna... when we get somebody that made it, that can help you. If you don't ever know them, they can make beautiful music for you. Why this has to happen? And so I'm going to be honest with you. Rappers are an endangered species. And when I say that, I mean it.
Thanks for tuning in to 9 Mag TV.